जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे राधे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य शीलविदस ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Vishnu Pada Krishna Vishnu Srimati Bhakti Char Swami Ti Namine Snigdha Chitra Srimati Bhagminam Chira Saprata Prabhupada Gata Pranam. We are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, Devahuti's Lamentation. So we are going to cover a few verses, but in the board. Okay, 27. Okay, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, yeah, text 5. Angam chamala pankena sanchannam shabalastanam avivesha sarasvatya sarashiva jalashayam. Translation: her body was coated with thick layer of dirt, and her breasts were discolored. She dove, however, into the lake, which contained the sacred waters of Saraswati. Next, text number 26. Santa Sarasi Veshyam Veshmastha Shatani Dasha Kanyaka Sarva Kisharabhayaso Dadarshotpala Gandhaya. In a house inside the lake, she saw 1,000 girls, all in the prime of youth and fragrant like lotuses. Text 27. Okay, we will chant. Tam drishtva sahasothaya prachu pranjalaya striyaha vayam karma karistuvyam shadina karabam kim tam drishtva sahasothaya prachu pranjalaya striya vayam karma karistubhyam shadina karabam kim tam drishtva sahasathaya prachu pranjalaya striya vayam karma karistubhyam shadina karabam kim. Please chant. Tam drishtva sahasathaya Vaishnavis. Tam drishtva sahasathaya word for word meaning. Tam, her, drishtva, seeing, sahasa, suddenly, uthaya, rising, prachu, they said, pranjalayaha, with folded hands, striyaha, the damsels, vayam, we, karmakari, maid servants, tuvyam, for you, Shadhi. Please tell. Na. Us. Karbama. We can do. Kim. What? Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Seeing her, the damsel suddenly rose and said with folded hands, "We are your maid servants. Tell us what we can do for you." Purport. While Devahuti was thinking of what to do in that great palace in her dirty clothes, there were at once, by the yogic powers of Kardama Muni, 1,000 maid servants prepared to serve her. They appeared before Devahuti within the water and presented themselves as her maid servants, simply awaiting her orders. So I think I can go on for up to 31 by myself. Text 28. Snanena tam maharhena stapayitva manishvinam dukile nirmale nyutne dadurasyai chamanada. The girls, being very respectful to Devahuti, brought her forth, and after bathing her with valuable oils and ointments, they gave her fine, new, spotless cloth to cover her body. (29) Bhujanani parardhani variyamsi dyumanti cha annam sarvaguno petam panam chaivamrita savam. They then decorated her with very excellent and valuable jewels, which shone brightly. Next, they offered her food containing all good qualities and a sweet, inebriating drink called asavam. Purport. Asavam is an Ayurvedic medical preparation. It is not a liquor. It is specially made from drugs and is meant to improve metabolism for the healthy condition of the body. 30. Athadarshe swamatmanam stragvinam birajambaram birajam krita swastayanam kanya bahumanitam. Then in a mirror she beheld her own reflection. Her body was completely freed from all dirt, and she was adorned with garland, dressed in unsullied robes, and decorated with auspicious marks of tilakas. She was served very respectfully by the maids. 31. Snanam krita shira snanam sarvavarana bhushitam nishkra grivam balayinam kujat kancananupuram. Her entire body, including her head, was completely bathed, and she was decorated all over with ornaments. She wore a special necklace with a locket. There were bangles on her wrists and tinkling anklets of gold about her ankles. The word Krita Shira Snanam appears here. According to the Smriti Shastra's directions for daily duties, ladies are allowed to bathe daily up to the neck. The hair on the head does not necessarily have to be washed daily because the mass of wet hair may cause a cold. For ladies, therefore, taking a bath up to the neck is ordinarily prescribed, and they take a full bath only on certain occasions. On this occasion, Devahuti took a full bath and washed her hair very nicely. When a lady takes an ordinary bath, it is called malasnana, and when she takes a full bath, including the head, it is called Shira Snana. At this time, she needs a sufficient oil to smear on her head. That is the direction of the commentators of Smriti Shastra. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Nena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this chance for speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam to purify my consciousness and to please my spiritual master, all the Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord. This section, especially, we are hearing about the description how Devahuti is undergoing a transformation or change in her looks. As we know, Kardama Muni was a great ascetic and a devotee of Supreme Lord. After marriage, Devahuti accepted the husband's mood or adopted the mood in austerity, lived in a very austere life, a very pure life in the mode of goodness. But in that process, she had neglected her appearance. When Kardama Muni saw her as a princess, at the time of marriage, he was attracted to her beauty, but right now, her beauty is covered with so much negligence. So, as in their lives, Devahuti expressed her desire to have children. Then husband was thinking to make suitable arrangement for having children. To me, it appears that from Vanaprastha life to they are entering into Grihastha life. But they were great devotees of Krishna, pure devotees of Krishna. Their mood was very renounced mood. Actually, devotees of Krishna, devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in their life, the vairagya, the detachment is very prominent. They lose the interest for self-enjoyment or being an independent enjoyer, independent controller, doer. Those things gradually vanish, and gradually they put themselves into the constitutional position as the subordinate, subservient, obedient servant of Sri Guru and Gauranga, or Sri Chaitanya, or Sri Radha Madhav. So here the descriptions are all about that, how Kardama Muni, after creating the aerial mansion by his yogic potency, he requested Devahuti to enter into the lake of Bindu Sarovar to have the suitable change, means transformation. So here everything was created by his yogic potency. How powerful he was, we cannot even imagine. Actually, the yoga that we are practicing, Bhakti Yoga or any other yoga, the yoga siddhis come to us. But that is not the goal. This is a side or what is called byproduct. Byproduct. It's all. These are all material. And devotees never seek for them for their own enjoyment. But here the situation is different. As Supreme Lord also blessed Kardama Muni that he would appear in their lives as their son, as Kapila Dev. So everything was arranged perfectly by the Lord's will. They were not ordinary people like us. Kardama Muni and Devahuti. They are very special, empowered, and confidential servants of Supreme Lord. And they were so much in oneness with the Supreme Lord that they acted everything according to the will of the Lord. It's a great art. Just like we know, Parashar Muni also acted that way to bring the child, means Vyasadeva, with the help of Satyavati in a very special way, means in the Yamuna river, in a special lake, in a special arrangement, and Mother Satyavati was not even married, just a girl, but he knew that was the perfect time for Vyasadeva to appear in this world. It was all arranged. So they are constantly in contact with Krishna and with the will of Krishna. So whatever they did, we should not judge them at all. But we should see as the drama is being unfolded. The devotees, even they acquire the perfection in their yoga process, yogic process, the bhakti yoga also, perfection or siddhi, they are able to act in this world with this full spiritual consciousness in a way to play the part, a role that Lord has been given to us. Not 100% involved in that, in identifying in that role. This is a great mystery or great technique to remain very pure in any situation. Although a Vaishnava or a great devotee or a mystic, they enter into family life, having children, look like same as ordinary people, but not. Because they are fully in contact with Krishna and execute Krishna's will very perfectly and remain unattached. So we are seeing that. And we are also learning that. Although some of us are in the Grihastha life, Banprastha life, Brahmachari life, or Sannyasi life. It doesn't matter. Anyone can be a pure devotee in any situation, in any circumstance, provided he understands the principle of yoga, or yoga, complete linking up process with the Supreme Lord. So I was just, when I was reading these verses, so I thought to speak something about what is the Yoga Siddhi definition, because many of us may be very attracted to this power, yogic power. But that is the impediment. We may understand the science a little bit, but not to desire these things. We are also having Yoga Siddhi in our lives imperceptibly. What is that? How? That gradually we become detached from sense enjoyment. That's a great yoga power, yogic power. And it is possible when we perform our daily sadhana with a goal, solid goal. Sadhana and siddhi. And sadhya and sadhan. Sadhan and sadhya. Sadhana and siddhi, they go hand in hand. Means interlinked. It's not just that we are supposed to do only sadhana without having any goal. Actually, our bhajan or sadhana does not even take nice shape unless we have the goal in mind. Very active, solid goal. What is the goal? Krishna prapti hai, जहाँ होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति, कृष्ण प्रेम प्राप्ति, Krishna seva prapti, attainment of Krishna, Krishna prem. That's the goal. And it's possible to keep the goal in forefront of our consciousness while we are executing our daily duties. It's possible. It's not that we can forget it. It's not. Once we establish the goal in our life, then our sadhana, it takes full energy. Yes, I have to reach the goal. So before that, I was just thinking to give little understanding what are the siddhis. Siddhis are extraordinary powers or abilities that can be attained through advanced stages of yogic practice. The word siddhi in Sanskrit means perfection or attainment. These powers are considered to be natural byproduct. How it can be attained? Through deep meditation, concentration, and absorption of mind. The practices involve focusing and directing the mind, energy, and awareness in highly refined and concentrated ways, which can awaken dormant potentials within the individuals. We have potential. What is that potential? To attain our original position in the spiritual world, in the transcendental pastimes of Krishna in the Golok Dham. That potential is there within us. So it is our duty to awaken within this human life and within this short period. Most of the life's time already passed, only little time has been left, but we have to achieve this. So great devotees are always eager to understand very precisely, very efficiently what is the actual goal and how to achieve. As we know, when Mahaprabhu went to Bangladesh for the first time, Tapan Mishra was a great Pandit and devotee, was the father of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, met Mahaprabhu. And he asked this question because he was so much bothered by this question. He was confused because he studied a lot of scriptures and couldn't ascertain what is the goal of life. It's very difficult to ascertain, to understand. Vedic literature is so vast, but it is also very confusing because contradictory statements are there. Asked very openly and straightforwardly, my Lord, I do not understand properly what is the goal of life and how to achieve the goal. Sadho sadhan tattva kichui na jani. What is sadhya, goal of life, what is sadhan? Mahaprabhu said very beautifully what is the goal and what is the process. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhu kahe kohilam, ei mahamantra, ইহা জপ গিয়া সবে করিয়া নির্বন্ধ, ইহা হইতে সর্বসিদ্ধি হইবে সবার, সর্বক্ষণ বলইতে বিধি নাহি আর. Mahaprabhu said, O Tapan Mishra, goal is Krishna. Attainment of Krishna, Krishna Prem is the goal, and the means is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then he ordered, chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra in certain numbers in the beginning, of course. Otherwise, actual order of Mahaprabhu is Kirtaniya Sadahari. We should be prepared for Kirtaniya Sadahari. It's not just 16 rounds. Of course, we must fulfill our vow. So, he said, Iha hoite sarvasiddhi hoibe sabar. From chanting, you will achieve all perfection. Now we are understanding the perfection, how can be achieved? What is the process Mahaprabhu gave? Chanting. So chanting is not just daily ritual, routine work for us. It's the goal as well as means. So when we see the chanting as goal, we get so much energy, because holy name and Krishna are non-different. That feeling we must have. Also, Mahaprabhu said, Vaishnav Seva, Prabhu kahe Vaishnav Seva Nam Sankirtan, Dui karo shigro pavek Shri Krishna Charan. So, amongst the 9 processes of devotional service or any other, in Bhagavatam, many processes has been given. Out of those, Mahaprabhu said 2 most important, Vaishnav Seva, Nam Sankirtan. Through that, we will achieve Krishna Charan, lotus feet of Krishna. In some other places also Mahaprabhu said that in our sadhu sangha, we achieve our goal. What is that? Krishna bhakti janma mula hai sadhu sangha, Krishna prema janme teho puno mukho anga. We are very much eager to achieve the goal within this short time of life. If we are eager, if we are very serious, then Mahaprabhu is speaking, come to the sadhu sangha, associate with the elevated devotees, hear from them. And that is the source of, birthplace of Krishna Bhakti. When the Krishna Bhakti is become so concentrated, condensed, it becomes Krishna Prem, sweet, nectarian Krishna Prem. That is also available through the sadhu sangha. Just like here, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sarva shastre kaya, labo matra sadhu sanghe, sarva siddhi hoy. So if we are again interested in achieving perfection, yogic siddhi, come to the sadhu sangha. Achieve. Just like when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we achieve Prabhupada's association, also personality, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Krishna, of Godhead Krishna, and other devotees. So these are the processes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Also, from Bhagavad Gita, few verses we may just mention. Krishna also spoke about how to achieve perfection or siddhi. These siddhis are welcome because that gives us the fulfillment of the mission of human life. He says in 629, Sarvabhutastham atmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also see every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person see me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. So seeing the Lord everywhere, perceiving the Lord everywhere is also the siddhi, because we attain Krishna. Perceiving bhakti definition, ultimate definition is this: perceiving Krishna every moment, within, without, everywhere. So we will be in constant contact with Krishna. Krishna can be in constant companionship by us, with us, because he is the omnipotent Lord. So Mahaprabhu also said that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Antya Leela, the last chapter is all about Shikshashtakam. Mahaprabhu spoke the Shikshashtakam and also explained the meaning and emotions of those 8 verses. There also, when he was saying, he said to the devotees, after saying that Cheta Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, then he said, Ki rupe naam loile prema upajay. Let me tell you that how one can chant, the way of chanting. We chant, of course we chant. But the Mahaprabhu gave us the process, the way to chant in order to achieve Krishna Prema. Very specific chanting. What is that? Then he says, let me tell you how the actual process of chanting in order to achieve Krishna Prem. Then he said, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tararapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. 4 things to be fulfilled. Humility. The consciousness, the awareness of being lower than the blade of grass in the street. Means very humble, meek position. And tolerance like the trees. Actually, the holy name gives us this situation. At the same time, we have to practice diligently. And amanina manadena, be prepared to respect. How can we respect everyone? When you see Krishna in everyone's heart. Respect Krishna, respect the part and parcel of Krishna. And do not hanker respects in return. Means whatever comes in according on his own accord or by the will of the Lord, devotees accept and give all the credit to the spiritual master and Krishna. Not keeping everything. Because his vision is spiritual vision, seeing everyone as a part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna also present personally in everyone's heart. So he says, Uttam Hoya Vaishnava Habe Nirabhiman Jive Samman Dive Jani Krishna Adhishtan. This is must. When you see Vaishnava, and we know Vaishnavas are the very special persons because they are confidential servants of Krishna. Uttam Hoya Habe Nirabhiman. And we must practice pridelessness. For me, I'm their servants only. I'm the servant of servants. This sense of being servant of everyone, practically you would develop. Mahaprabhu's order. Uttam Hoya Vaishnav Habe Nirabhiman Jive Samman Dive Jani Krishna Adhishtan. And paying full respects to all the living beings, knowing fully that every living being is the residential place for my beloved Lord Krishna. So when we adopt this mood and chant Hare Krishna, then definitely we achieve Siddhi. Siddhi means success of human life, Krishna Prem. So we are trying to discuss today this Siddhi, because we know that Kardama Muni had perfection in his life. So can we also achieve perfection in our lives? Yes. The answer is yes. According to Srimad Mahaprabhu and according to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, many other verses from Gita I wanted to mention, but because of the little time, cannot do it. But one verse from Gita that inspires me every day, that is, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. Who sees me everywhere and everything in me, I'm never lost to him and he is neither lost to me. So constant connection is established. Constant yoga is established. Yoga means connection. So every moment, anywhere, everywhere, anytime, every time, all the time, under any circumstances, we can be fully connected with Krishna, and that is the yoga siddhi in our lives. If we leave our bodies by having Krishna in the heart, that I'm connected with Krishna, and Krishna is within me, all around me, outside me, then definitely we'll reach the Golok Dham, we'll go back home, back to Godhead. And that is also the symptom of love, seeing Krishna everywhere. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. So this much we could discuss today by the inspiration of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and Shishi Rukmini Dwarkadish. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.